The HOA bylaws and declaration below are not originals and were simplified to give people a quick overview. There may be errors. Always refer to original documents when needed. Article 3, Meetings of Members. Annual meetings. The first annual meeting of the members will be on the first Tuesday in October. Another date chosen by the Board of Directors. Every year after that, the annual meeting will be on the first Tuesday in October at 7 p.m. Special meetings. Special meetings can be called any time by the President, the Board of Directors, or by members who have at least 1/4 of the voting power. Meeting place. All meetings will be held in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina, at a place decided by the Board of Directors. Notice of meetings. Written notice of each meeting will be sent by mail at least 30 days, but no more than 60 days before the meeting. The notice will include the place, day, hour, and for special meetings, the purpose of the meeting. Quorum. A quorum, which is 1/3 of the voting members or their proxies, must be present for decisions to be made. If a quorum is not present, meetings can be rescheduled until a quorum is present. Proxies. Members can vote in person or by proxy, which must be in writing and given to the secretary. Proxies can be revoked and end automatically if the member sells their property. Action by members. Any decision made by at least 2/3 of the votes at a meeting with a quorum is the decision of the members. Waiver of notice. Any member can waive the notice of a meeting in writing, which is the same as giving notice. Attendance at a meeting also waives notice unless the member is there to object to the meeting. Informal action by members. Any action that can be taken at a meeting can be done without a meeting if all voting members agree in writing and it is recorded by the secretary. Article 4, Board of Directors. Number of the association will be managed by a board of 3 directors who do not have to be member. Nomination directors will be nominated from the floor at the first meeting and afterward by a nominating committee or from the floor at the annual meeting. Election directors will be elected by written ballot at the annual meeting. The person with the most votes wins. Term of office. Directors serve terms as outlined, usually for 3 years. They serve until their death, resignation, removal, disqualification, or until a successor is elected. Removal. Directors can be removed by a majority vote of the members. Vacancies are filled by the remaining board members or by the members. Article 5, Meeting of Directors. Regular meetings. The board will meet regularly at least once a year on dates decided by the board. Special meetings. Special meetings can be called by the president or any 2 directors with at least 3 days' notice. Quorum. A majority of the directors is needed for decisions to be made. Decisions are made by a majority vote of the directors present. Informal action by directors. Decisions can be made without a meeting if all directors agree in writing. Chairman. The board will elect a chairman to lead meetings until a president is elected. The president will then serve as chairman. Article 6, Powers and Duties. Powers. The board can make and enforce rules for the common area member conduct, suspend voting rights and access to facilities for non-payment or rule violation, manage the association's powers, duties, and authority, declare a board member's position vacant for missing 3 meetings, hire managers, contractors, and employees, hire attorneys when needed, grant easements for utilities and drainage without member approval, appoint and remove officers, agents, and employees, enforce the rules and levy assessments. Duties. The board must keep a record of actions and report to members at the annual meeting, supervise officers, agents, and employees, fix and collect assessments, foreclose liens, or take legal action for unpaid assessments, issue certificates of paid assessments, maintain adequate insurance, bond officers and employees with financial responsibilities, maintain common area. Article 7, Officers and their duties. Officers. The officers are a president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. The board may create other officers as needed. Election of officers. Officers are elected at the first board meeting after the annual member meeting. Term officers serve for 1 year or until they resign, retire, are removed, or replaced. Special appointments. The board can appoint other officers as needed. Resignation and removal. Officers can resign or be removed by the board. Vacancies. The board appoints replacements for vacancies. Multiple offices. One person can hold the offices of secretary and treasurer, but no other multiple offices. Compensation. Officers are not paid. Duties. President, main executive officer, oversees the association, presides at meetings, signs documents, and co-signs checks and notes. Vice president acts for the president when absent and performs other duties as needed. Secretary records votes and minutes, keeps the association's seal, serves meeting notices, keeps member records, and performs other duties. Treasurer manages the association's funds, signs checks and notes, keeps financial records, conducts an annual audit, and prepares an annual budget and financial statement. Article 9, Books and Records. Members can inspect the association's books, records, and papers during business hours. The declaration, articles of incorporation, and bylaws are available for inspection. Article 10, Assessments. Members must pay annual and special assessments. Unpaid assessments are delinquent and accrue interest. The association can take legal action to collect unpaid assessments. Members cannot avoid paying assessments by not using the property. HOA Declaration. Article 6 Use Restrictions. Section 6.1. Use of common areas. Owners can't plant or garden in common areas unless allowed by the board. Owners can use common areas as regulated by the board and have a non-exclusive right to do so, subject to A, association's rules for safe and fair use. B, suspension of rights for unpaid assessments or rule violation. C, easements granted for utilities and drainage. D, use of recreational facilities by non-owners upon payment. Section use of lots. Residential only lots are for single-family homes, not more than 2.5 stories high, with one accessory structure. B, setbacks. Buildings must be within set distance from property lines as per zoning law. Small changes to setback restrictions can be made by the developer. C, no subdivision lots can't be divided to increase the number of lots. D, driveways must be paved with asphalt, brick, or concrete and kept in good condition. E, maintenance owners must maintain their lots and keep them neat and clean. F, nuisances. No annoying or harmful activities are allowed on any lot. G, other structures, temporary structures, trailers, or metal buildings are not allowed as residences. Only permanent accessory structures that match the house are allowed. H, utility easements. Easements for utilities and drainage are reserved on certain parts of the lot. I, signs. Only one small sign for sale or rent or construction is allowed. J, pets. Only household pets are allowed, not for commercial purposes, and no more than 3 outdoor pets over 6 months old. K, garbage must be kept in sanitary containers. L, fences and walls. There are restrictions on the type and location of fences and walls. Clotheslines, garbage cans, etc. must be kept out of sight. And antennas, limited to one small attached antenna and dish not visible from the front. O, commercial vehicles, buses, etc. Restrictions on parking large vehicles, boats, and camper. P, sight lines. No structures that obstruct sight lines at intersections. Q, basketball goals not allowed in street right-of-ways. R, independent covenants. If one covenant is invalidated, others still apply. S, limitations. Restrictions only apply to specifically covered land. Section 6.3, architectural control. Changes to the exterior of homes or lots need approval from an architectural control committee. ARC. Plans must be submitted for approval, and if the committee does not respond within 30 days, approval is assumed. The ARC can charge a fee for reviewing application.